Good morning. All right. We are a bit early today, so we have probably 3 or 4 minutes before we get rolling, which is a wonderful amount of time to roll out your mat, grab anything you may want around, water, a block, a strap, and get settled in for the practice. And as we come onto the mat, if you want to use this time for gentle movement, you can. If you prefer to sit quietly and begin to center, you can. Lots of options just to make the practice your own, especially here at the beginning as we just kind of settle in and get ready. So still probably another 2 to 3 minutes. We're just coming onto the mat, settling into our space. And again, you can grab anything you may need. If you'd like to incorporate a blanket or a bolster into your practice, you could grab those and have them set nearby. You want to have a glass of water nearby. Still have at least another minute or so. And we are going to begin in a seated posture today if you wanted to head that way. Slowly going to begin making our way to that seated posture. We still have a little time. As you come into your seated posture, it can be whatever you want it to be today. Legs crossed, legs stacked, legs out a little bit. Finding what works for you as you settle the sit bones. Find a little ease in the legs. And we're getting close to time. So I'll start to settle in here. Again, find that ease in the lower half. A little softness in the hips as we sit up tall. Let the shoulders relax. A little tuck of the chin to let the crown of the head draw up. As we center, maybe you close the eyes or drop the gaze onto the earth a few feet in front of you. Let all of the exterior stuff go, the to-dos, the worries. Draw the attention in. Check in with the self, just see how you're doing. Tapping into heart space to see where the mind is at today. To bring awareness to the body. Nice little check-in. No right or wrong, just seeing how you are. And as we center, we'll deepen the breath. Allow the inhales to fill the lungs and expand the ribs. Allow the exhales to help you release the little surface level tension, wherever that may be. Nice full inhales and exhales. Try to match the length of your inhale to the length of your exhale. Balance the breath, a breath that we'll try to maintain throughout our practice. And as we center, if you'd like to set an intention for class, just something positive that's speaking to you, you can. Maybe it's inviting in joy, courage. Maybe it's learning to let go, whatever it is, something you can cultivate here on the mat and then take with you out into the world. The eyes are closed, we'll flutter them open. Keep our same seated posture as we let the right ear fall toward the right shoulder. My neck's a little stiff, so it doesn't look like it moved, but it definitely feels like it. And just let the weight of the head create the stretch through the opposite neck. And we'll lift up. And opposite side. Left ear toward left shoulder. Again, the weight of the head creates the stretch. Keep the shoulders at ease. Notice if you scrunch them up. Back to center. We'll drop chin to chest. The gaze is in the lap. And then we draw a line with the nose all the way back up toward the sky. And back to center. Keeping the body where it is, we'll just turn the head to look over the right shoulder. And then over the left shoulder, switching sides. Back to center. We'll bring the hands down alongside body. They don't have to touch the mat to start. We're going to do gentle circles with the shoulders. So you can start forward or backwards. Start small. Take your time. Move at your own pace as you create slightly larger circles. Arms are going to move with you. Feel that connection into back body, the neck. Slow it down. And opposite direction. So if you went forward, go backward, or vice versa. Start small, gently grow larger. Awareness on the shoulders, how they're feeling. Slow it down and settle. Left hand to mat. Inhale the right arm up. Reach tall, find that length, and then gently take it over. Little softness through that upper arm. Notice if you start to tense through the legs as well here. Continue to breathe. We'll inhale up. Exhale the right hand down. Right hand finds the mat. We inhale up the left. We're going to pause at the top. Find that length, long spine. Then take it over. Heart stays open to the wall in front of us. Softness through the shoulder, elbow, and wrist of that upper arm. The right arm is helping support us here. We'll inhale up. Exhale down. Slight twist, right hand to left knee. Maybe we just angle the torso out over that knee. Maybe you're feeling really loosey-goosey already and you want to twist it farther. Maybe just the gaze travels a little bit more here. We're just warming up still. Try not to push it. On an exhale, we'll unwind. And opposite side, left hand to right knee. And again, maybe the chest turns over that torso, maybe it goes a little farther or a little shorter. Wherever you're at today, maybe the gaze goes a little farther. Softness through the ribs. We'll unwind back to center. We'll press the right palm forward. And you could stay right here. If you'd like to deepen the stretch slightly, you could use the opposite hand to gently draw back on the fingers. Nice little stretch for the forearm. And then release and flip the hand. So the fingers are down, the palm is toward the body. And again, you could do that gentle press. Very mindful of how the wrist is feeling here. And release. We'll leave that hand out. The palm is open to the earth. And then we rotate it. Now it's open to the sky. Drop the fingers down. Palm is away from the body. Maybe gently draw back on those fingers. Awareness throughout the arm, going from shoulder to wrist, checking in. And release. And shake out that arm. Give it a little wiggle. And then we'll swap sides. Press the left hand forward. We're staying seated nice and tall. You could gently press back, totally optional. And release. Flip the hand. Again, if you want to gently press, be very mindful. Really tune in to see how that wrist and forearm are feeling. If at any point you feel any acute pain, gently back out and come in and out of any of our shapes as much as you like. And release. So that palm starts toward the earth. We rotate it toward the sky. Drop the fingers down, palm is shining away from us. And maybe you gently press back on those fingers, scanning from shoulder to wrist. Breath is steady. And we release. Wiggle that one out. Nice work. And we'll take some seated cat-cows. So you could do that with hands on knees. That's where we'll start. And then I'll show you the arms open option as well. So from our nice neutral seated spot, we'll inhale and press the heart forward. Gently draw the gaze up. Exhale as you round. The gaze comes into the navel. Inhale, open heart. Exhale as you round. With the arms open, it'll be inhale, press forward, arms go back. Exhale as you round, palms come together. So a couple variations you can play with here, finding what works for you this morning as you connect movement and breath. We'll take one more full round before meeting back at our neutral spine. Back to our neutral. We'll rotate over to a tabletop, setting up toward the back of the mat. Shoulders over wrist, hips over knees as best you can. Spread the fingers wide to give yourself a nice space. And we'll create a little C shape with the body. Press the hips to the right and a little glance over the right shoulder. And then opposite side, we swing the hips to the left. We try to glance around that left shoulder. back to neutral. We'll keep the hips high as we slide the hands away, melt the heart down, puppy pose. You can stay flat palmed, or you can come up onto some tinted fingers or down onto the forearms. Nice flat back, hips are high. Start to walk the hands in, and we'll sit the hips back, coming to child's pose. The arms stay stretched overhead, maybe walk them out a little bit farther, really activating through the back as the hips settle. And we'll lift the forehead if it's resting as we bring the hands over to the right. Big stretch through the left ribs. And walk the hands back through center and journey over to the opposite side, settling in, belly resting. Run the awareness down the right side of the body. We'll come back to center, walk the hands in as we lift up. We'll come to a nice kneeling posture. The knees are under hips, the nice solid base. We'll bring the fists or flat palms to the low back as we draw the shoulder blades a little closer together. Elbows draw back as well. Nice open heart. You could stay right here. This might be all of the chest opener you need today or you want. But if you're up for it, we'll head to a little kneeling back bend. Big arch as we draw the gaze up. Gently press the hips forward. Little sips of air as you try to keep the lungs buoyant. Little lift of the heart. Imagining that really big beach ball behind us. We'll inhale up. Gently release, shake out the shoulders. Return the hands to the mat, but extend the stance. So we're not putting the wrists under the shoulders. We're taking them out probably at least a handprint each. Curl the toes, create yourself a nice base, strong arms, and then we'll hover the knees. Just lifting them a few inches off of the mat, feeling the strength of the body here, and then lower them down. Take a breath. Hover the knees. Start to lift the hips up and back. Down dog. Our first one of the class. So take your time here to explore, maybe to pedal out the feet. Shift the hips, whatever is serving you. And then settle in. Find a little stillness and a flat back as best you can. Start to walk the hands toward the feet as we come to a forward fold toward the back of the mat. Let the head hang. The hands can reach toward the earth, or you could grab elbows to hang in ragdoll. Maybe there's a little bend at the knees here. Hi, Molly. If you're holding elbows, go ahead and release the hands down to the mat. Soften the knees. Gently lift up as we come to a nice standing posture. Our Tadasana, head over heart. We'll bring hands to hips, As we step forward with the right toes about 2 to 3 feet, feet are on skis, long spine, hinge forward, only going as far as your body wants, keeping both feet rooted on the mat. Aware of how the back of the right leg is feeling, and notice if the hips really shift here. We want to try and keep them square to the short edge of the mat as best we can. We'll take a generous bend in that right knee and then press it up. Big step forward with the left foot. The same thing, just left foot forward, right foot back about 2 to 3 feet. Feet are on skis, standing tall. Lead with the heart as you hinge forward. Strong back, strong core, steady breath. We'll take a generous bend in that left knee as we press up. We're going to drop the right foot back, setting it at about 45. We've got a generous bend in that left knee, stacking it over the ankle or a little bit behind. Square the hips to the short edge of the mat. Arms are loose at our side to start. The gaze is forward. We'll inhale the arms up. Warrior one. Let the palms shine toward one another. The fingers reach toward the sky. We'll ease in the shoulders. Maybe you tap back into that intention that you set for class here. On an exhale, release the hands. We'll interlace the fingers behind the back. Draw the knuckles down, shoulder blades together. Open heart. With control, take left shoulder toward left knee. The body will hover inside that leg. Maybe it rests on the thigh. Strong in our foundation, strong through our core. We'll press back up. Release the hands. We'll rotate that back foot to a 90, maybe lengthen that stance a little bit if we have to, keeping that generous bend at the left knee. We stand tall, inhale the arms up to shoulder height, one forward, one back, palms are down, fingers together. Our warrior two. Feel strong and steady. Notice if the left knee starts to fall in. If it does, gently draw it back. Keep that knee in line with the toes. And then release the arms. We'll straighten the left knee. Turn those toes to the long edge of the mat. Nice wide angle stance. You can take hands to hips to start. Flat back as we hinge forward. And when you can't keep that flat back anymore, go ahead and release the hands. Let the head fall. The head is touching the mat. Gently heel toe the feet in a little bit closer together. And with control, core engage, we'll lift up. Find that flat back and rise all the way up. Nice work. We'll turn the heels in toward the body. Inhale the arms up to the corners. Nice big starfish. Take up all the space you want. Really wiggle the fingers. Reach out, open heart, and then release. We'll heel toe the feet together. Meet back at the front of the mat. Right foot will stay forward this time as we take a big step back with the left foot, planting it at that 45. We've got that nice bend at the right knee. Find that bone stack. Both feet are planted down. The body is centered. We're not really leaning forward or backward here. And when you feel steady, inhale the arms up. Our victorious posture. Feeling strong and confident. Remember that ease in the shoulders and the arms. Gaze is forward. Tap back into the breath. On an exhale, release the hands. Interlace them behind the back. Draw the knuckles down, that open heart. With control, right shoulder toward right knee. Take your time, long spine here. Both feet stay rooted down, so you'll notice the shift in the weight and how that right leg is doing a bit more work here. With control, gently press up. Release the hands and drop that back foot to 90. Maybe you're lining up the heels. You might have to extend the stance. You've got that bend in the right knee, but we're checking the bone stack. When you feel settled in your foundation, inhale the arms up. One hand forward, one back. Gaze is out beyond the front fingertips. Keep that knee in line with the toes. Heart is open. Strong and steady. We'll release the hand, straighten that front leg. Spin the toes. We're back in our wide angle stance. So we'll turn the heels in, toes are out, hands to thighs as we let the hips drop down, our sumo or goddess pose. The hands are on our thighs here. You can invite in little movement, dropping one shoulder and then the other. Or you could stay centered. Big stretch for the hips, the inner thighs. A lot of strength through the legs here as we take one more breath. Find your neutral, press it up. Take a breath. Heel toe the feet together and meet back toward the front of the mat for Vinyasa to help us journey down. We begin in our Tadasana, that strong mountain pose. Inhale the arms up. Exhale as we forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale as you release. Plant the hands, step one foot back and then the other. You can lower to the knees here if you like. Elbows tight to the body as we move through. Chaturanga to the belly. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale as you release. Lift the hips up and back, down dog. Taking a few breaths here. Lower the knees, uncurl the toes, hips to heels, child's pose. Walk the hands in as you lift up. We'll rise to that kneeling posture just for a second, curl the toes, and then gently sit the hips back. A big stretch for the feet, the ankles. This can be really challenging for some people, so we'll just take one breath here. Lift up, uncurl the toes. We'll sit back, swing the legs around, and send both legs out front of the body. Feet are about hip width distance apart. We'll inhale the arms up. Exhale as we fold forward, finding a hold on the feet, ankles, shins, the mat, whatever is serving you today. Maybe there's a little micro bend at the knees. We'll inhale back up, draw the feet in, and gently lower down onto back body. Let the head and shoulders rest. Walk the feet in a little closer to the body. Arms are down along our side now. Palms into the mat. Thumbs touching the hips. Level of difficulty for this bridge just increased. And when you're ready, lift the hips. Sweetie. There we go. Coming up onto the shoulder shelf. If you feel any pinching in the neck, gently lower down. And lower. I'm going to try that maybe once more to see if I can get a little closer to right form. Palms are in the mat. Press the hips up. Knees are in line with the hips. Little tuck of the chin. And then lower one vertebrae at a time. Returning to the mat. We'll draw the knees in, nice full body hug. You could rock a little side to side if you like. Totally optional. And from here, we're getting toward the end of our time together, so you have a few options. You had a little extra time this morning, you could release the feet, extend the legs, and take a few moments in Shavasana, letting the body relax, the practice melt in. A great way to center before the start of your day. But if you're rounding out practice with me, make your way up to a seated posture. Maybe that's through a rock. Maybe you roll onto your side and gently lift up. Whatever works for you today as we find that nice seated spot where we began. We bring hands together at heart center to seal in the practice and tap back into those intentions. Taking our kind thoughts, our kind words, and our kind intentions with us out into the world. Oh, until we meet next time, namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for joining me on the mat. I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.